Welcome to the Webb Report. My name is Stuart Webb. Today I just wanted to do a quick video reacting to this video that's been going around in LDS social media circles. So just wanted to say a few things regarding this video. So we're going to play it right now.
And I need you to stop scrolling for a minute because I genuinely do not understand what's going on here. There are so many incredible single women in the church, like kind, faithful, emotionally intelligent, educated, independent, funny, successful, and somehow still single. Meanwhile, LDS men will be like, I just want a good girl who loves the gospel, and she's literally right in front of you, and you're terrified. Why? Why does commitment feel like a threat instead of a goal? And why does it seem like the moment a woman is educated, has her own money, her own opinions, her own life, her own house, it's suddenly intimidating? Because independence doesn't mean we don't want a partnership. It means we're choosing you, not needing you. And I feel like some LDS men are raised with this idea that they need to be the provider, the leader, the fixer. And if a woman already has her life together, it makes them feel unnecessary. But here's the thing. No one is asking you to be our dad. We want a teammate, a partner, a best friend, someone to grow with. Crazy. Also, can we talk about the fear of commitment? Like, you'll date someone for months, do coupley things, meet friends, family members, talk about the future, and then the second things get real, it's like, gone. I'm just not ready. Ready for what? Because marriage has always been the goal here. And it just feels like a lot of amazing women are being passed over because some men are scared of not being needed, instead of excited about being chosen. So if you're an emotionally intelligent man who's LDS, between the ages of like 25 to 35, congrats, you're a unicorn, and where are you at?
Okay. So I don't want to demean this sister at all, but we do need to talk about this kind of behavior. So, ultimately, I hope she finds a great guy and they get married and whatnot. But one thing she really needs to understand, and all women need to understand, and men need to understand, men are not well, let's start with women. Women, since we're talking about this gal's video, women are not entitled to a husband or a man. They're not entitled to a husband or a man. Just like a man is not entitled to a wife or a woman, okay? So, getting on the internet and complaining and criticizing and putting down men for not wanting to get married to her, that being the man that she wants, okay? That's a problem. That's showing a big lack of humility, and it's showing a sense of entitlement to a husband. So if everything was reversed in this video, if it were a man saying these things, people would probably be really upset with the guy, right? Because he's not entitled to a woman or a wife to have one, right? He has to work for it, okay? So the same thing needs to be said about this kind of behavior. If you want a good man, a husband, you have to you have to work on yourself, and you have to entice a man to want to be with you. You have to present qualities that make a man want to be with you and want to wife you up and marry you, okay? And I mean, that's what my wife did. So I'm married with three kids, happily married, and my wife absolutely enticed me, and I love her to death, and we have a great relationship. But this kind of behavior, it's very immature and childish. Women need to understand that they're not entitled to a husband or a man, and being upset that you don't have a husband or a man, putting men down and criticizing them is not going to make men want to marry you, okay? So this really needs to change in our society. Just this shaming and name calling and just putting down and belittling men, that's never going to get you not just a husband, but a good husband and a good man. That's not going to get you that, and it's also not going, this kind of general behavior from women is not going to make men want to be better. So, and again, shaming a man and putting a man down and criticizing them, all it's going to make that man do is run away from you and say, "Nah, I'm good." And just like how this woman said, we don't want to be your mom. Well, we don't want to be your dad either. Okay, so you're not entitled. It's just interesting. This woman's putting down men as a whole, and then saying, "But please marry me." So that's a problem. And also, there is a very obvious problem that most women, at least from what I see and what statistics show, but I think it's just very obvious, most women are attracted to only a small portion of men. Okay, so there's plenty of men that would be willing to date her, that are good guys, but they don't meet her standards, like physically, or their personality maybe not what she wants, but they don't meet her standards. So again, ultimately, I want the best for this woman and for all daughters of God and my sisters. I want them to have happiness. I want them to be equally yoked with a man. But that requires you to entice a man. And as a whole, our society, you have to entice men to be better, not shame men and put them down, because that just makes most men go and play video games and watch pornography, which is not good. But ultimately, that's what men are going to do. If you nag them and criticize them and tell them they're not good enough constantly, and to tell men that they're weird for wanting to flirt with you, but you're not attracted to them, so they're weird. Okay, so I see this all the time. It's very obvious. This is a very obvious problem, and so I would encourage and pray that the daughters of God, they pray that. Well, first they try to humble themselves and be better and try to entice men, and then maybe men will the general population of men in this world will have a desire to step up. But that's all you can do. And the reason being, God has given us our free agency. So if men just say, "Yeah, I'm good, I don't want to get married," if a lot of them say, "Nah, I'm good, I'm just going to play video games and whatever, I'm good without having a wife and a woman," then you're screwed anyway. So why not try to do your best to entice men and build them up, and encourage good behavior, which means women need to have better behavior. Okay, it's a two-way street. Okay, so men and women both need to step up their games, be better, and that's how we solve this issue. At least not solve it completely, because everyone has their agency, but this is how we make the situation better. Okay, so I'm not trying to put down this sister, but the thing is, I see these videos. They're literally there's just thousands and thousands of them, and I really want the daughters of God to get married and have families. I want them to be happy and have joy in their posterity. But shaming men on the internet, putting them down, is not going to get you a husband. And again, you're not entitled to a husband. You're not entitled to a man. Just like I'm not entitled to a wife or a woman. I have to constantly work to be the man that my wife needs. Like I have to continue to work, and as she does, she has to continue to work so that we both are equally yoked and make each other's life better, okay? And commit to each other constantly every day, okay? That's what being in a relationship, being in a marriage is, okay? So we need to have more maturity in our behavior, more maturity in when we're talking about relationships, and I think honestly, the problem of the imbalance of dating and the ratio of women dating a small amount of men, I mean, that's got to change. Okay, so If you want a man, you gotta pick from what you have, okay, and try to encourage men as a whole to be better, but don't put them down, okay, because that's not going to get you a husband. So there's a lot to say on this issue. I really, there's a lot of toxic content, women hating content, just like there is men hating content, and it's really terrible. And we need to talk about this in an honest way, but in a humble way, in a way where we can encourage good behavior from both of the sexes, okay, to fulfill God's plan, okay. It requires both of us. So yeah, we need to improve our behavior, both sides, try to entice one another, and have an eternal perspective, have humility, and want to try to both of the sexes have to want to try to do their best to follow God. And yeah, and that's really what it comes down to. So I just really wanted to get this off my chest because I saw this. And there's so much that could be said about these kinds of videos. But again, nothing is going to change unless we change our hearts, okay? And again, let me add this. Men and women are so different. There's a purpose in that, but they're so different. So I will tell you this kind of behavior, that we see all the time from women on the internet, it's not going to entice men. It's not going to get you a husband. It's not going to make men want to date you. It's not going to make men, it's going to push men away. So let's just be a little bit more mature and have a little bit of humility, okay? And maybe we can continue to create family units and have a better society.